welcome back to another episode of Going Rogue Podcast. This is the part that makes me feel like a douchebag because I'm staring at all my friends while I talk into a microphone. So, very quick and dirty for all of our sponsors that help make this happen. Definitely go check out heavyathlete.com. They just released a shop function, so if you want some heavy athlete merchandise, if you're an AD looking to get pro cards to hand out to all your pro athletes or to get one for yourself, bottle openers, all that sort of cool little bits of swag, go check out heavyathlete.com. If you have not made an athlete profile and claimed all your historic data, please go do that. If you're trying to go to Masters Worlds and maybe some other high-level competitions and lightweight worlds, I was waiting for Mike to tell me that so I could get the green light to say it on here. Yes, go make a profile, fill out all your things, claim all your data. Please, please go do that. It behooves you. Our other sponsors, The Barn Gym. It's thebarngymva.com. Go check them out. It's 24/7 strength conditioning facility in Northern Virginia up in Caroline County. Look, go now. Go while the getting's good, all right? Look, they are still technically a sponsor. It be what it be. Go check out The Barn Gym. Also, Badger Highland Game Supply. Greg Martz makes some of the best equipment around. If you need tacky especially, that's a thing that I absolutely love, but he can also get you straight on just about anything he can get his hands on. If you need weights, sheaf forks, sheaf bags, hammers, all that good stuff, you can find him at Badger Highland Games Supply on Instagram, as well as on Facebook. You shoot him a message. He's got his prices all listed. They're incredibly reasonable. Tell him we sent you. It won't get you a discount, but it makes me laugh. So go check out Badger Highland Games. Kilt, sportkilt.com. We do have a discount code. You guys have been using it, and we definitely appreciate it. It's going to get us noticed by Sportkilt a little bit more. But you can use code ROGUE24 at checkout for sportkilt.com. We also have our own website, goinrogue.com. It's where you can keep up with all of our episodes if you don't like to follow them on the main podcast apps, as well as all the games that we're running. We have the Woodridge Games. Will be live February 1 for registration. We are also running the Blue Ridge Championship out of there, which more details to come on that. But go check out goinrogue.com. Also, my God, a sandwich wrapper. Thank you, Matt McDougall, my co-host. Go check out Chem Stud. Chem Stud is a chemistry equation solving app developed by the same guy that developed heavyathlete.com. So go check them out. If you need help solving any sort of chemistry equation, that is your go-to. It is available on all major app stores.
Check.
Oh, yeah, that's working.
Yeah.
Yep. Say something else?
Something else.
That was really low. I don't know why microphones hate your voice so much.
It's my voice. But
It really is. This is going to be one of those episodes where it's all me.
It's all, there's a
the way I
microphone
like it.
on my face. But
it's 5 inches from your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If it was me, it'd be in you.
How far in me?
Far enough.
Yeah.
Maybe not as far as you want, but you'd know it was there. Yeah. Enough to get me in prison if you didn't like it. Anyway, so my original plan was, hey, episode 2, we're going to do a recap because literally months ago, we had talked about doing that. But I think this is just going to be a general one turn where we can talk about. God, that's going to sound so good with the microphone on my throat every time I cough.
You want to talk about like what we're doing next season? You want to talk about?
I've got injuries I can talk about.
Sure.
You could talk about how your off season, because we're in the off season. We're not going into it. We're months.
In it.
Yeah. Because I mean, my
Since
last
August.
real game was VSG. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did Woodridge, quote, and then
August started my off season. So.
Yeah. So,
3 games since then, but
yeah. Okay. Then do you want to talk about off season or injuries or?
Yeah, you talk about what's wrong with you.
My shoulders.
Tell us why you're not going to go pro next year.
Goddamn. So, tell you why I ended up at a lower point value this year than last year by a little bit. So I have something wrong with my shoulder. It actually flared up. If you remember, we were still throwing together right before you went pro. You're whispering, but you do have a microphone on your head. I'll listen to it later.
It's low. You can't hear it.
Okay. Told him to go get drugs. Anyway. You don't be a cop this long without learning a thing or two.
I said water. What comes back in that water?
It's no one's business.
That's up to Brandon.
It's the bacterial androstatic water or whatever, the BC water.
I don't know what that is, sir.
Yeah, me either. I read about it in a book one time in middle school.
One of the North Carolina pros was telling me about it. Or was it Georgia? I don't know. Tennessee?
I don't know.
Some
Allegedly.
mulleted pro told me. Anyway.
Allegedly. So anyway,
Wait, I'm a mulleted pro.
so if you remember, like, it was almost 2 years ago at Radford, my shoulder first flared up. Like, I went to throw a stone. You, me, and Patty were there. I think
right.
Keck, and it went, like, nowhere. And I was like, oh, this is...
bad.
Yeah, and so I just limped through that whole game. I think it was, like, the end of 2022.
Sounds right.
And so, but that off season, it kind of went away, and I had a fine season. And it just flared back up this year to where I spent a long time trying to figure out what made it mad, but also a long time trying to stay on the gas, so I never really could.
Right.
Like, I didn't know if it was throwing or if it was the gym or what it was. So then I decided that because I'm tired of being an AM for forever, I need to I need to do the smart thing, not what I want to do. I have to step back and try and figure out what's wrong with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so went and had an annual physical, which I hadn't had in a million years, and talked to the doctor about it, and they did their usual thing, which is, well, we have to send you to get an x-ray, even though she told me in my face, she's like, it's not skeletal. But for insurance reasons, you have to go get an x-ray, and you have to do PT before I can write you for an MRI, and we can actually see what's going wrong. So, been going through that whole thing. 5 weeks of PT just concluded. They think, which makes a lot of sense, it's probably a little bit of overuse and an impingement just in the joint. Like, things are just probably a little compressed, which makes sense. And then it's probably a partial labrum tear. It's definitely not my rotator cuff. I can rotate against resistance on every plane fine. And I'm not weak on any plane, so it's not a large muscle. It's not a delt or anything. Like, it's probably a labrum that's just partially torn. Mm-hmm. And the debate, we'll still get the MRI to confirm. And then the debate is it worth surgery or not, depending on how much it's torn. Because if it's only partially torn and throwing in and of itself isn't what's aggravating and I just have to amend what I'm doing in the gym, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go until it tears completely off. Because, like, the surgery to repair it could still make it prone to tearing, so why not just amend what I'm doing and go from there? So that's been the plan. Pons is now writing my weight room programming and is going to help me out with my shot throws, i.e. open stone. So that's been going really good. I actually do really like the program he's written in. It's nice. It's just bonus points that when I open the Google Doc, it's Discord kitten. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just a nice little pick-me-up at the beginning of every workout. But so then I got lazy and I let the strap do all the work on a set of hang snatches and basically just like hyper-extended my right wrist. So that's pissed off right now. But like that, I've done this injury to my wrist before, and like if I'm just smart and keep wrapping it, giving it a little bit of compression and some rest, it'll be fine.
The boy just jorking it too hard.
Yeah, I did. I jorked it too hard. And I jorked when I should have jerked.
Yeah.
And, it'd be what it be. So the shoulder is the really only long-term thing. My back is finally much better. That was an issue at the beginning of 2024.
Could you stop doing that?
Could I stop coughing?
Yeah.
I wish. I will when I'm dead. Yeah, I'm getting over another illness. That's been really fun too. But like that's performance-wise no longer an issue. I just cough sometimes. So it'd be like that. Mm-hmm. Need somebody to scratch my throat. Mm. We can all take turns. Why'd you all get quiet? Why'd you all look at me? I'm just girthy. But yeah, so it was just the shoulder that's a real hang up. My back feels better. I haven't done heavy conventional deads in a year plus.
Like 3 for me, yeah.
Yeah, like it's been a game changer. I still do deadlift, but like with the way Nick's writing them in the program now, it's trap bar or it's sumo.
Yeah.
Like I don't no heavy standard back squats. Mm-hmm. Like we'll do Hatfields or front squats or like box squats to just like a little hot. Yeah, weird. It's something I don't know why I've never gone pro. Proceeds to train like a power lifter while trying to throw the whole time, while also never having been a good power lifter. That's a good caveat to add to that. So it's been really fun, like actually doing, like I have a power clean day and a snatch day and a, box squat day and shit. Like it feels good. It's a good workload and it's been fun. So that's what's physically going on with me. Mentally is we don't have enough time for it on this podcast. So
yeah, that's
it's a mess.
Hundreds of dollars.
No one here is
thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands.
I can
Someone
relate,
with a good degree.
If I could fix it, I wouldn't be here. So
that's what I'm saying, brother.
I can't fix it, so I also won't be
so
here.
But yeah, so the off season has been, hey, a lot less throwing. I need to be in the weight room a lot more, and then come springtime I'll start, and I'll probably just plan, like I'll still do Sedalia and stuff without all that much inference, but the plan will be last full AM season hopefully, but try and be real smart with picking games, like fewer games, quality over quantity.
Same.
Because really, despite my overall numbers in heavy athlete being lower this year than last year, I still walked away feeling like I had a better year. Like the things that needed to improve, I think did. The couple that didn't, I know why they didn't. Like I can fix them, and I can still make them better. So I'm cool with that. I'm not horribly unfulfilled, but I'm also not fulfilled enough to be okay with it. I'm in that sweet spot,
right,
that we need to be in. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I PR'd every single event this year.
Yeah.
By a fairly decent margin. So like I want to not 10%, but like 7. So
yeah,
I think on heavy athlete I'm at 77-12 or something like that. I don't know. I don't fucking know. And on
we can find out because I think just doing these on audio, I can.
But yeah, it's like either way, I'm above 7,700 points. So like I jump by a good margin. I'd like to be above 8,000 next year. There are only 3 guys in the world over 8,000. So like, and one of them is taking a year off, allegedly. So the other one's one bad knee plant away from being out of the sport. And
we would never. We don't do a lot of jerking and twisting on our knees. Right. What are you talking about?
And then you got Lad, who is immortal and has actually been around for 4,000 years, just sucking on goats and killing Romanians. So like, anyway, he'll be around until he's chosen a new form. But
yeah, he'll be one of those old pros, but one of the ones that actually win shit, and everyone will be upset. What the fuck are you in heavy athlete as, Matt or Matthew?
Matthew, my name.
Me.
Yeah,
that's what you sound like.
I don't think even as a child I sounded like that. Ooh, woo. Anyway,
mother, I desire the milk.
Mother, brother, may I have the oats? You gotta look at that video if you haven't.
No, it's not the time to be covetous, brother Frederick. I love those so much. 77-10.
There you go.
That's your year.
Overshot by 2.
Yeah. Don't we all?
I'm so sorry, brothers.
Yeah, I ended up at 6146.
So
I was hoping for 6,400. Like I wanted incremental. Yeah.
The worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's right. Well, in next year it's 7,000 and fuck it. So
right. I mean, bet. Or just put on enough.
Through tren and cocaine, all things are possible.
Well, next year your scores are
Oh
going.
yeah.
Oh, because they're going to be accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means everyone's scores are going down, so I'm okay with that.
All amateur men's scores
Okay,
are going down.
explain that.
So everybody is going to be ranked off of their own world records.
Okay, so AM's off of AM World Records. All right.
Oh yeah, that'll sound great on audio. Hi, this is Mike, not Matt. I know you can all tell the difference in our voice. So, yeah, going into next year on heavy athlete, so starting January 1st, 2025, first important thing, we're no longer pulling from NASGA starting on that date. So if you have some change to a 10-year-old game that you just have to go change, do it in December. I know you're out there. Go do it now.
He knows you're out there because he can see all of you.
Yeah, I see it happen.
He's the fucking Wizard of Oz
thing. Anyway, so in general, amateur men's scores are going down because the only world records that are accurate on NASGA are Dan McKim's hammer record. So how scoring works, the easy version, is it's just your percentage of the world record, but instead of out of 100, it's out of 1,000.
corner.
That's all that the point system is. Caber's different, but we're fixing that too. I'll get there. So for all of your points, because the world records are lower than what they should be for pro and amateur men, as they go up, your scores go down. Don't worry, there's something called seasonal points. If you just actually look at it, it will all make sense. The data is still the same. Your scores are still the same. It's just that our sport isn't actually dead, and your points will actually mean what they're supposed to mean moving forward.
Yeah. Like being a 1,000-point athlete is a tenth of, or a ninth of.
Yeah, a ninth of the
real.
records.
Yeah.
So, the other thing, though, what that really means is that every other class isn't going to be compared against pro men, because that was a limitation of the technology of the time on NASGA.
What are we doing for the women?
The women are using the women's world records.
Like just the women's world record, period?
Yes.
Because we don't have enough data in for pro women, I'm assuming.
So, just like for
the men, we were the first ones to have a pro women.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming there's just not enough.
So for men, there is no difference between pro men records and amateur men records, except for the sheaf. For pro women, there's no difference between pro women records and amateur women records.
Period.
It's just the women's records.
Okay.
So we're doing that. The pro men, amateur men, and women in general's records are running through heavyathlete.com. So if you have world records that you set next year, send me an email with the steel tape and we'll get them updated for the following year. For all of the Masters classes, we are using the Scottish Masters Athletics International records. So if you have an issue with them, take it up with the people that actually care about Masters and put in a lot of effort to make the Masters classes what they are. For adaptive classes, we are using the Broken Caber classes because they have world records for them. The end. So, yes, everybody else's scores should be going up because their world records generally are lower. A couple of them are actually higher because they're throwing lighter implements. So,
yeah, like the women's lightweight world record is triple digits. So
So
that one will dip a little.
yeah, there's a couple where your points are going to go down, but but across the board, points
instead of
should
our
be going
pro
up.
women suddenly being 5,000 point athletes, they'll actually be closer to what you would expect.
They'll
to
actually
see
be
as a
comparable.
pro. Yeah.
World record in hammer is only 670 points. It's like, no.
It's a world record. Why
Right,
is
it's
it
a world
not
record,
1,000 points? Yeah.
Like hammer's about to jump by her for 330 points.
Yeah. Matt doesn't have a microphone next to his head right now. He's just using Megan McKee's hammer as a. Yeah, you hear a low rumble somewhere. But
The other thing that's important is Caber. So Caber is the most misunderstood
come over here and
set
whisper
of
in my
points
neck.
on NASGA, and that's because nobody actually bothers to read the incredibly well-documented procedure for calculating Caber points that is lined out on NASGA. So what they did was, whatever year they decided to do it, they said, all right, the pro men's Caber is worth 1,000 points. Then they looked at the top 10 guys or top 10 athletes in every other class, averaged their scores, assigned that average as a percentage of the pro men as their value for Caber, and then they added 10% to it. So every class complains, oh, well, we don't get full points on Caber. No, that's correct. You get more points than what your Caber is worth, you lucky dogs. So,
Fuck you. Some of my Cabers are really hard, Mike.
So, how Heavy Athlete is going to be addressing Caber moving forward, because everybody is based off their own world records. Cabers are worth 0 points for rankings. They will still count for game points. They will still affect your things for games. But for actual rankings, trees are trees. How are we going to figure that out? So just the mistake on NASGA.
Also, the
wasn't how they
judging is
calculate.
always 100% subjective.
Right.
It's just a dude standing behind you. There is no. Well, not 100. Some games have painted shit on the field, so I don't want to say that and act like it's an absolute. But it is incredibly subjective as a whole.
Yeah, the problem with Caber wasn't.
And if you're an AD
Nazca's
inviting a
solution.
pro and you don't know if they can turn a caber or not, just do 2 seconds worth of research and you'll look at their games.
It wasn't.
It's fair.
It wasn't Nazca's fault trying to figure out a system.
Yeah.
It was putting them in for rankings in the first place. So we've actually got where by default it's going to be 0 points in rankings. Otherwise, if you get a midnight, it's 1,000 points, and I'll give you a toggle. So if you can't add 1,000 points to scores on your own, I will do the math for you. Yeah, you can click a button.
I'm going to turn on. It'll make me feel better.
The other thing that is
calling
going to happen,
it now. My
we
ego's
have
too
a
fragile.
couple of other scoring systems for Caber, which will be far more illuminating, but not necessarily in the way that the current Caber rankings work.
Better data, but not better for rankings.
Yeah.
I will talk more about those when I've actually implemented them.
Because you have a podcast now, right, Mike? If people really like your voice for some reason.
I do have a podcast where you can actually hear my voice because I only buy mics that can pick up Matthew and my voice.
Hey, fuck you. I don't have money.
Exist. I know. I paid a whole $20 for my mics. It's fucking wild.
Android.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like Apple sucks. Anyway.
These aren't Apple products. These are...
what is it running through?
Mm.
Yeah, see, you just use USB, the universal one, and it just fucking works.
I have a USB-C converter.
Anyway, so yes, if you go to Heavy Development, you can hear all about me making Heavy Athlete and other computer science topics and just other insane, deranged ramblings. But yes,
That's fantastic.
Oh, I need my hat too.
Yeah, it's kind of important to this. You can clip it to your glasses, and then the microphone would actually point down closer to your mouth.
No.
The people get what they get.
People get what they get.
You get what you pay for, and let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
None of you hand me money. Yeah, if everyone in this house is going to be $30 by 10 o'clock, I'm kicking you all out.
Isn't it 33?
I don't actually care, Nina. It was a joke.
That's 2 flights of beer.
What else we got to talk to, brother? What else we got going on?
I mean, off season.
Yeah, we covered. Yeah, your off season. Let's do that. We got off on a data tangent there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how's your off season going?
I'm just going. I'm tired. I haven't been throwing a lot.
What are you weighing nowadays?
330.
Okay.
So I've lost quite a bit. I got a little bit lower, and then Thanksgiving, and
It happens.
life. So depression, alcohol, hookers, blow, crack. Molly,
2 of those will actually bring you down again.
ecstasy.
And then
Huh?
that whole kitchen smells.
Why
is that? I realized that about halfway through our last episode. I was like, "It's piss I've been smelling."
Oh,
It's not ammonia, it's urea.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's cat piss.
Yeah.
Someone had a cat in here and they pissed all over the place.
There's a water bowl.
Well, there's in the bedroom up here that I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
The top level of the closet is one of those plug it in ozone generators to like destroy all the oxygen and try and remove smells. So that's why all the furniture is updated because it all probably smelled like cat piss.
God, I love
So
my
that's
life.
skittering from the attic earlier.
Oh yeah, what if it's just raccoon piss? There's a real solid chance that we're just living under a bunch of possum pee-pee. We're all gonna get you say pee-pee.
You said pee-pee.
What is it? That brainworm you get from being too close to cat shit?
Oh,
that-
Yeah, the one that makes
The cat shit brainworm.
Yeah, the toxoplasmosis or whatever it is. I don't know.
Mm.
But also makes you way more inclined to danger, which we all already are. So what are we gonna like? Fuck that. But
Us?
what?
Mm.
Anyway,
You what?
he double wraps it.
Oh.
He's talking about his toes.
Mm.
Just kidding. He goes in raw with those bad boys. Those fish catchers. You told me that man couldn't swoop down over a lake?
Speaking of, I found something really cool on the highway that I'll tell you about later.
This is about feet?
Is
Is it the Denny syrup thing?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, I found something
Oh.
on the highway. I took it home.
Is it a human foot?
It's not a human, but
Oh.
it's felonious, which is why I'm not talking about it.
Okay.
I acquired something that I shouldn't have.
This whole podcast is satire.
It's already dead, so
yeah.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Mime it to me. Let's see if I can.
It's a type of bird.
Oh, okay. Then I know what you're talking about. If it's felonious, we're good.
Yeah. But anyway,
all right, cool.
I collect a lot of weird shit on the highway. You know, well, not one of those yet.
Oh,
a different type. But also because of the Anyway, I'll get one of those for sure. Anyway,
you know, my grandfather used to do that. He used to trap raptors.
Really?
Yeah, like I have a bunch of photos of my grandfather holding various birds of prey.
That's awesome. I have a great one of me holding a osprey that I caught while fishing.
Nice.
It dove in after my bait, and then I had to pull it out of an osprey.
Yep.
Yeah, it was not happy with me.
They rarely are.
Yeah. Like flying an osprey like a kite was super fucking cool. Like one of the highlights of my life. Like I sunk the hook and
that's saying a lot about a lot of
dropped
things, by the way.
15 feet allegedly. None of this actually happened, but like,
wouldn't it be cool if it did?
Yeah, this was all a dream. But like the osprey dropped like 15 feet. And Uncle Ned was like, "Did you? What the fuck? Did you? It's like, did you just set a hook in that osprey?" It's like,
I think I did.
I think I did allegedly in my dream, and so like I reel it in, and I'm just like, fishing is already kind of a strange sensation, but like feeling the pole bend up as you're pulling a bird down, like is one of the most surreal dreams I've ever had. And so like I get it back on the boat and pull off my hoodie and like hold it down so I can pull the hook out, and it's just like staring at me like, bro, like come on, like what the fuck, you know?
Why is this fish hurting?
Yeah, why? What's happening to me, you know?
Yeah.
And
it's a reverse abduction.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I just like threw it off, and thank God it didn't come back and maul me, because that would probably wake me up from my dream. So
yeah.
But yeah, I got some cool pictures allegedly.
Yeah, from your dream.
AI generated.
Yeah. Obviously.
But none of that happened. I just lie.
All right, sorry. We were talking about your off season.
Yeah.
We're really going back to the roots of this podcast here, where we all just ramble. So
Yeah.
I hope everyone likes it.
Yeah.
It statistically is what they like. It's pretty weird. Y'all are weird.
Well, no one gives a fuck about Highland games. So
no. Yeah. Like, Jacob Langworthy, take notes. This is what it takes to move episodes, buddy.
Right. You want episodes out by every 3 months to get those dozens of views. This is what you got to do.
There are tens of people waiting on these.
You talk about technical prowess and
clamoring.
shit. Who gives a fuck? All right. So yeah, my off season is honestly mostly just like tendon health, blood flow type of work, and flexibility routines. I like really slowly I'm gonna bring back in the weights, but I'm like all the way through April. It's like I have a speed day and I have an effort day, and I'm basically running conjugate, and I'm running conjugate with a lot more accessories, which is conjugate. It doesn't matter, but like,
yeah, that's
if you think of generic,
that's just conjugate with extra stuff.
right? If you think of generic West Side barbell conjugate method, then like that's effectively what I'm doing.
My voice is going to be so much louder than yours in this episode.
Good. I don't cycle through the exercises nearly as much because I don't care. The numbers are going up, and it's all tertiary to throwing anyway. Like none of this, like lifting isn't even secondary as a thrower. If you have prerequisite strength, and like obviously being able to move better is better, but like there's a difference between gym strength and throwing strength.
Mm-hmm.
And like during the off season for me, it's more about like feeling good going slow, so that I can feel good going fast. So there's truthfully for me, and like this is dumb because I hate the question of like, well, what's one lift you could do for the off season? How the fuck am I supposed to know what you're deficient in, right?
Yeah.
For me,
well, because like you and me sitting here, it's incredibly different.
Yeah.
Wildly so.
Right. So like as a mostly rotational thrower, like my biggest movements are like coccyx squats and lunges because I'm trying to make sure my like hip flexors and groin are able to take a wide sweep because like I don't shut the fuck up.
That was what got you?
Yeah.
Of all the things we've said?
Yeah. Like, good God. Like, Jeremy actually has his penis out right now, and you're going to... No.
Again, satire.
We're joking. Whoa. But,
yeah.
But, Yeah, so like it's just going to depend on everyone. But like my left shoulder is tight and I have a knot in it because I've been sleeping on my right side. So like I'm fixing that by this off season sleeping on my left side. And like off seasons for me look more like just being a healthy human average adult. Like I'm working on my splits and dunking a basketball right now again. Like that's my off season goal is to be able to do a muscle up because I've been training for 17 fucking years and I'm tired and I need to find some joy in it. Otherwise, like,
yeah, why not?
I'm going to rate my guns by mouthfeel. So, like, there has to be some.
Start taste testing ammo.
Right. Like,
you don't get past one.
No.
It's the thing they don't tell you.
Right. Which load goes best? And anyway,
I'll find out.
That one was funny too. Wow. It's the gay ones and the groin ones.
Oh, it wasn't even coccyx. It was groin.
Yeah.
One of them has cocks in it.
I know.
And
yeah,
nothing.
My groin. But it's...
Well, your groin is hilarious. I don't know why it's that color.
Yeah, well...
It's the fungus.
It's the fungus, yeah. It's the venereal disease.
Chungus fungus?
Chungus fungus.
That's
Big
Garrett
Chungus fungus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Garrett. Does he still exist?
He posted something about powerlifting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me and Garrett don't really talk.
I talk to Justin pretty often.
The Bladnings do a lot for the sport.
They do.
Don't talk.
I just haven't. Well, I haven't even seen Garrett post. Like for a while, he was on such a tear. But I say for a while, and that was years ago. Now that I think about it,
he did Pleasanton and threw like 17-foot wob or 18-foot wob, or I think he's thrown 18 this year.
I'm very excited to see how.
I think he's ranked like 15th or something right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's still doing well. He's just I never see anything about it. So
yeah,
but no, I'm very excited to see how again training closer to how throwers should train translates. I really think that actually doing Olympic lifts is going to help. I'm really enjoying it. It is fun because it's relearning a new thing. It was very frustrating for about a week, like being movements I wasn't used to doing because they had to be so like I couldn't move them with anything that I found to be a halfway respectable weight.
Right.
And it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
But then it started clicking, and it's been really fun.
So I think that's something that is relevant to talk about. Is like most throwers off season should just be like train like a thrower, which looks like weird powerlifting and weird Olympic weightlifting. But like I have 17 years of training age on me. So like for me, it's
your berth is wider. You can operate in a much wider sphere or lane.
I'm not going to get very much out of doing fucking hip cleans anymore. Like,
whereas I have never done them.
Right.
Like that's never been a
right.
So,
and like if my squat goes from I don't know mid 6 to mid 7, it won't put a foot on my wob because it won't carry over that way. But if I can actually comfortably drop another inch into my single leg squat so I can get more power in my Braemar, then like that is relevant. So like for me, off season looks like hammer swings for shoulder mobility and kettlebell work, but that's super atypical. And I have a lot of training years on me, even though I'm 27 now. I started when I was 10. So like there's a, that's something to consider. You're 30, but don't have 17 years of track. So like,
if I can stick,
I don't fucking know, whatever.
If I can stick 50 pounds onto my clean,
it'll make a big difference.
That's gonna, that's gonna be great. So, I'm pretty pumped about it.
Right. Well, and the other thing is like, I can add 50 pounds on my clean just by dropping under. You know what I mean? Like I can be back into the.
I can't drop under shit.
Right.
Like
well,
it's not a.
But what difference does it make? Like if I have a 380 power clean now, and I could probably do a 420, 430 fucking like actual like a real clean, right? Dropping under it and front squatting up. So I've got a 600-pound front squat when I was still doing strong, man. You know what I mean? Like if I get it in my shoulders, I can stand with it. But like if it's not moving as fast as a wob, it doesn't mean anything. So
Which move that was? I didn't talk about it in our recap episode. That was why my wob went so well at VSG.
Right.
I thought about it differently and thought about moving it fast, not smooth. Because I finally, after 7 years in this sport, I was like comfortable enough to where I was like, I think I can push a gear in a different part of this movement, that I just haven't done.
Right.
And so if I can now also train weightlifting like that in the off season, I think it's going to translate to good stuff.
Yeah, this is
I'm
going to talk about this tomorrow as we teach the seminar. But
which I'm just going to sit in the corner and drink beer.
That makes sense. But you don't need any help. and then you're beyond help. You got it all.
Heard it from my mom. Heard it from my therapist, ex-wives, whatever.
Wob is really interesting because what's been clicking for me isn't pulling it hard between my legs. It's you have to stop looking at me when I say things. But it's not the pulling it hard between my legs. It's the like once it's already past my knees, having it flick up fast. You know what I mean? It's the
it was fast and violent was my cue to myself for
like finishing is the one for me. Like it's moving fast, but I have to finish.
Yeah,
hard,
it almost if you get a lot of hip into it, you kind of almost stop applying anything past here, but you still could.
Right.
If you can time it well enough, you can keep adding as you.
Not that anyone can see what he's doing, but like once your hand is
no, this is great. I didn't decide to do this one as a video, and I'm demonstrating.
Yeah, your hand above your hip.
Yeah, so instead of just riding the momentum, which is what you teach newer throwers, of stop yanking because you're dumb, ride the momentum out of the back and push with your hip and get the rise. Well, then after a certain amount of time, now you have to actually work on that rise portion because there is inches that you're leaving on the table by not finishing the pull in front of you.
And when you're finishing, it's every inch more counts.
It does. Like, every inch matters.
It makes a big difference. Like if you want to actually get back up there, like into the higher
like into the back of it.
Heights, right?
Higher heights.
The higher heights, like I mean, if you're trying to hit the ceiling, the roof of it, if you will, like if you're trying to...
Like the cervix of the wob.
Right, exactly. Like if you're really trying to touch some of the special spots in the wob, then like you have to get every inch.
If you're trying to hit a kidney, you've got to finish the push.
Right.
I mean, pull.
Like if you want it to be flag worthy, then you gotta throw high enough to hit the flag.
Hip mobility matters.
It does. So like for me, like opening up my hips more, so it's not just like riding the weights. It's actually like lunging into it, then like one leg up on bed type of.
I really try to focus on getting both knees near the shoulders.
Right.
In my wob pull.
So really on wob, I mean, like the farther you can pull.
Brandon losing that one, I couldn't keep it together myself.
I mean, the greater the range of motion, right? So I've really been playing with like actually looking at my asshole.
Is that all you've been playing with?
Yeah, my asshole. Or It's not actually exciting.
So. No, it's not. It's fun for a while.
Yeah, but
all right. Well, that's good. Yeah, so we have off season. Do you want to talk about any of the theological things that you had thought of regarding the pro class and things that are valuable versus not valuable, or you want to save that for another day?
Yeah, save it for another day.
All right, we'll save that for another day.
Bitter.
This will be a good little one-term, a little half-hour.
Good little quickie.
A little quickie, but again,
effective though.
If you guys took away anything from this, it's hip mobility and every inch matters.
Yeah.
All right.